Want to hear a story or two that's in the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have never told anyone some of these stories because I have to relive, the darkest moments of my life. But I want to tell the squad before I release it to the world. Now, I'm not necessarily proud to admit this, but one day in 2015, I wasn't feeling good because at this particular time I was in active addiction and I was dependent on prescription opiates. I was taking about 6 Roxys 3 times a day. It's a lot. A Roxy is equivalent to 3 Percocet 10s.
Like 60 Percocets?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
In a 3-year period, how much do you think I paid for drugs? $500,000.
Wow.
500,000?
500,000
Wow.
on Roxys and cocaine.
Damn.
Oh my God.
But at this particular point, I'm down on my luck. This is rock bottom, okay? I'm really depressed. You know, the government's coming after me for millions. I got nothing left. I'm a couple months behind on my rent. They're about to kick me out. I'm unemployed. The lawyers are about to leave me because I have no really money to pay for them anymore. So this is all weighing on me. You know, I'm starting to get what's called the okay? Where you're like, so I call my buddy up. Dude, I'm like, I'm not gonna feel good shortly. You know, can you get me some blues? Blues is the code name for Roxy's in the street. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, let's go to Newark. You drive. So I left the house with the old friend that I grew up with.
Was Lauren with you at this time?
Yes, Lauren was with me, and we got into a big fight. When I left the house, she just had the feeling. So me and my friend, we get to Newark. He's like, dude, stay in the car, and I'll get it. So I'm sitting there for an hour. There's cops running, but you know, the sirens going back and forth. Lauren blowing up my phone. You know, I know what you're doing. I'm thinking to myself, dude, like, Lauren's gonna kill me right now. Finally, after about an hour and a half, he comes back to the car, throws something on my lap. It was heroin. I'm like, dude, what the is that? He's like, bro, it's the same thing. I always told myself I would never cross that line because most people don't come back from heroin, you know? It's the worst of drugs, but I was at rock bottom at this particular moment. You know, I had lost all hope. I get back in my room. Lauren's downstairs, we're fighting, we're not talking to each other. I'm upstairs, I got the bundle in my hand, I'm feeling horrible. I'm like, you know what, man, it can't get any worse. Let me just try it. I'm not gonna feel good in about 20 minutes because I'm gonna go through withdrawals. So I take a key bump out and I tried a bump of it. And I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I feel dirty. I'm like, good. I didn't like it, I survived, okay. And then a little devil on my shoulder goes, why don't you try one more little bump? That'll make you feel better. And then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, maybe I'll try another bump, you know? So I go back and I was about to try another one and my phone rings. Guess who it is?
Who was it?
My mother.
Oh.
My mother.
Wow.
And she had no idea what was happening, but she had a lot of concern in her voice. And she said, are you okay? And I'm thinking to myself, what the is going on? Am I in the Truman Show? I'm like looking up in the ceiling like, how does she know what the hell is going on right now? So I'm like, no, Mom, I'm fine. She's like, I'm worried about you. And then I had the other key bump in my hand. That moment could have been my last moment, trying that one more time. And then all of a sudden, a knock on the door. It's Lauren. She's like, let me in. I'm coming in right now. In that moment, I felt like, you know what, this was a sign from God. It's over. And in that moment, I surrendered. Put my hands up. I threw the bundle in the toilet bowl. I told my mom I love her. I hung up. I opened the door. Me and Lauren hugged. I started to cry, and I said, I have to go to rehab. And that was the day I went to rehab.
Wow.
I've been sober
I got chills.
ever since.
Wow.
I've been sober ever since.
Oh, I looked the devil in the eye.
Not a day goes by to think that I could have also tragically passed from the disease of addiction. But my mom and Lauren, they were both fighting for my life down to the last second. And my wife loved me when I didn't love myself, you know? My wife saved me. So, you know, the man that you see today, I'm my best self, but once upon a time I was my worst self, and she was there. And I'll never forget that. Long story short, that friend that drove me to Newark passed a year or so later from a heroin overdose.
Wow.
And I feel that God spared me so I can tell my story and save lives.
You're really lucky to have Lauren by your side
Oh.
as you were going through it.
Yeah, she would not give up on me.
A lot of people think I was like crazy for like being there when he was so low. But people don't know that like I had just lost my brother.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Lauren.
Like being there when Mike was so low. But people don't know that like I had just lost my brother.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Lauren.
My wife tragically lost her brother through the disease of addiction, and she wasn't gonna lose two people, you know? So, you know, she wasn't gonna allow it.
I never had addiction problems. Like I had experimented, you know, like when you try things when you're young. I never liked anything. I never liked being like not in control. And I don't even like drinking. You guys know when I go out, I have like one drink once in a while. So it just wasn't for me, and I didn't understand addiction then. And I would just be angry with my brother all the time for like what he was doing. I'm like, you came from a good family, like you were given everything. Like I didn't understand it, and I would be angry with him and not talk to him. So I feel like the last years of his life, when he was struggling, like I felt like I turned my back on him because I didn't know that was gonna be like the last years. So then when Mike started really relapsing and being really sick, I was like, I'm not going through that again.
This woman right here saved my life. She wasn't gonna give up on me, you know? And we dedicate a lot of our recovery work to her family and her brother. And I think this book and these stories are really gonna help countless lives.
I just wish my brother had a few more years to get to see Mike overcome his addiction. The only way you get through it is through community and through people that have experienced it. And the comforting words of someone to say, I understand, and I've been there, and it's gonna get better, and it's gonna be okay, and you can do it. Just having someone say that to you, like when you've gone through the worst thing in your life, there's nothing more powerful than that.
I document in detail how I saved myself from addiction. The do's, the don'ts, the serenity prayer, the steps, the mindset, everything. So that if you know somebody that is suffering from the disease of addiction, you can read my story. And I'm grateful that my life story might one day be somebody's survival guide.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
That was
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
And it's dope is that people seeing your whole life turn around. So it's
Yeah.
like, if the situation can do it,
Yeah.
I can do it.
I am so proud of Mike for changing, for being a better man, and writing this book and telling his story, because I really think he's gonna help a lot of people.
So, Mike, if this becomes like the Wolf of Wall Street,
I think it will.
who's gonna play you in the movie?
Ooh,
I'm glad that you asked.
That'd be sick.
You're a Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, I kind of see that.
Yes.
Good one.
I can
That's a
totally
good
I
one.
can see that one.
This book will be a movie one day, I swear. I think that Jennifer Lawrence can play my wife. I also think that Megan Fox can be a JWoww. Adrian Grenier can play Pauly. Sandra Bullock can play a good Deena.
Who would be a good Sammy sweetheart? Maybe think of Kelly.
Mila Kunis did an SNL skit of me. She freaking killed it.
I could definitely see Shia LaBeouf playing me. Angelina will be played by herself because no one can act that crazy.
Well, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
To Mike.
Yay.
Cheers to Mike.
There's the Mike reality check.
To reality check.
Woo! Oh, look at that.
Wow. Oh my God, it's a pig.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a page out of that book.
Watch Jersey Shore Family Vacation every Thursday.